Hi, I'm here with Nicole Valentine, Director of FinTech at Milken Institute. Nicole, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I love Worth. I love what you're doing and love spending time with you,
Great.
especially here at the conference.
It's an amazing conference. You know, it's really, as at Worth, we've focused on how could business, finance, and innovation really drive social and economic progress. It's amazing to bring together people from every industry, including tech, right? How can tech really drive us forward? And you focus a lot on that, focus on how fintech and technology solutions could bring people into the financial systems. Talk a little about that work that you're doing.
Absolutely. Innovation needs to chase the issues. The most pressing issues we have in the world around finance and financial inclusion, innovation can do that. And so fintech, like you said, is with under my umbrella, and I focus on a lot about financial inclusion and access to capital. Financial inclusion and access to capital is one of the most important issues that we have, and we have the tools to tackle it. We have the innovators that are out here with the great ideas and the services. We have 90% of mobile phone penetration, so we have access to the user, and we have access to the ideas out here, and we need to scale them globally. And so in terms of getting fintech into financial services for those unbanked, underbanked, there's like over 1 billion people that still do not have financial services in the formal system, and fintech is that innovative edge that gets them to what they need. And so affordability is important, reliability is important, transparency is important, and speed is important. We're in a world where everyone wants to have a more reliable source of financial service. And so we're here to just highlight and amplify those applications that are working well for the world and shining a light on places where we need to go in there and still tackle and deal with the issues.
So you mentioned mobile phones, so obviously emerging technologies are driving adoption, connectivity being one, cloud being one, obviously moving out to the edge being one. So how do you see sort of the evolution of the early stage startups, the companies that are tackling these solutions? Are they now, the tools are cheaper, but then you talk about data security, privacy, what are the trends that you're seeing?
So the trends I'm seeing, I actually spent a lot of time prior to working at Milken as an entrepreneur, and I advise a lot of entrepreneurs and startups in the space. And so I do see that over the time, as you said, the tools and the products and the services have gotten less expensive. And so you can go out there and you can develop on open source applications and platforms. You can have access to developer communities that enable you to access more ideas. And so now you can walk into places and you can look at the issue, you can see that there's a solution in one area, and you can copy, paste, rinse, repeat, and you can get it out there into places that are more remote, maybe more rural, and you can find ways to kind of access. I think another issue around infrastructure that's out there is there's broadband deserts. There are still broadband deserts. There are still deserts out there where you don't have the necessary infrastructure to get the applications into the hands of the users that need it most. And I think that's an also issue that we highlight here at the Institute.
And my understanding is the Milken Motsepe Prize for next year announced as a FinTech Challenge?
It is a FinTech Challenge. In our program, we work with the team over there to talk about what are some of the easiest ways to get to a scaled project or scaled company in sub-Saharan Africa. And I actually lived in Nigeria for a year, and I shared some insights about the market mentality of the economy. It is a very entrepreneurial group of human capital in the region, and going to the entrepreneur and the small business and putting money in the hands of fintechs, that's the place to go to drive change, to drive transformation. A lot of native users, native mobile users in the region have not had access to formal banks. There's been a leapfrog in terms of getting getting into the ecosystem through digital economy. And so it's just a right place to scale. Out of the many unicorns that are on the continent, the majority of them are fintechs. They dominate the unicorn category.
So we can't leave a conversation without mentioning AI. AI now is, it's a November 2022, ChatGPT comes out. Users start to realize they can interact with AI. How do you see AI as sort of driving sort of this financial inclusion movement?
I see promise in it. I mean, From a financial services perspective, AI has been around for decades. AI, machine learning, has been in use in banking and trading. It's been around. And so I think what's happening now is an inflection point because it's in the hands of the masses. Everyone gets to see it and experiment with it and explore it. It's still early stage, but I do see a lot of promise in AI and Gen AI in particular in financial education and being in education in general, and then also in financial education. That's a great opportunity for there to be more understanding, more knowledge share, and I think about intelligence. The intelligence economy that we're seeing. It's really about turning that knowledge worker into a person where knowledge can work for them. And so if we can get knowledge to work for us, that can make us more efficient, more productive, give us our time back, make our companies and businesses and governments stronger. And so I see a lot of promise in AI, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the design and development of it, because there's a lot of things that as we're developing it, we should think about. We should think about ethics and governance and safety and reliability. And I think we should also think about making sure that it's inclusive. And so those are things that we talk about here at the Institute and make sure that we're analyzing and amplifying. But I see AI as something that's super positive. I mean, to be in our generation where we've seen transformation from, the manual to the internet to now the metaverse, I think if you don't have an imagination about what you can do with AI, I don't know what planet you're on.
Right. Well, Nicole, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much. It was great speaking with you.